Okay, good morning and welcome to Mo Knows featuring me, Monica Mo Justice. Okay, so here we are in this little itsy space, staring each other down. I want Friday just as much as you wanted it. Okay, I don't know. I got so many things to do today. We only got 20 something minutes because I have an 8 o'clock meeting. So um, we got to do a fast forward um, session today. Lincoln used the same strategy. Okay. Um, Interesting. Um, Let me just. Sometimes I just make life so complicated for myself. All right. Um, all right. Oh, just a few things. Not too long ago, timeout. I got to do a timeout. Not too long ago, I saw a video somewhere of somebody um disappointed, discouraged, or what have you about my choice of I wonder why this says this. Hold on. About my choice of hair ties. So if you're familiar with me, you will know that I tie my hair up with the do-rag. Do-rags are about $3. They're under $5. I think mine's been about $3. So the other day I go into Ulta and I get me this fancy satin hair scarfy thing, right? Guess what it is, y'all? It's a do-rag. It is $15 or under, it's under $15 but more than 10, so it's like 12 something. I get home and I try it on. I'm thinking, like, I don't know, Karen has a better one that she got from Walmart for probably like $5. And when she got hers, she was like, you want me to get you one? And I was like, no, don't give me one of those. I should have got one of them because that would have been a better look for me. Hold on a second. Me and this setup. Okay, so this is this. Let me go here. Let me copy this. Let me go here. Let me stop that. Let me start this. Let me paste this. Okay, so lesson learned. I'm sticking with my do-rags from the guys part of the salon for like $3 because it's the same thing. This is not doing anything more special than the regular do-rag from the guy. It comes off in the nighttime easier than the do. I'm simply annoyed, and I followed the packaging. It is crazy how women waste money. That was a waste of money. And had I not really used it, if I had opened the box like I did and saw it was nothing more than a do-rag and sent it back, I would have been happier, but I wasn't. Okay. Next thing up. Oh, y'all not here to decide what I'm gonna do first. That's interesting. I'm looking at the setup. Let me just type in here myself. because it's not reading what I set it up to read. Good morning. All right. Okay, I guess it is. Let me see on the other side. It is. Okay. It is. Let me look at this. All right. I guess it is. Good morning and welcome to me. Okay. So I'm going to start off with the financial challenge. So that I don't forget what today is. It's Financial Friday. We're on to the financial challenge. Here is our next challenge. And I already started doing this, and you only have the weekend to do it before we regroup on Monday. It's a Monday, yeah. We regroup on Monday to discuss where what we did. Now, I don't know how my regrouping on Monday is going to be because a sister has to go to work. She has to go into the office. So Monday's video, depending on T's schedule, might be a little earlier than 7 a.m., but it will not be later than 8 a.m. because I have to leave out of here by 8 a.m. Let me see when the train schedule is. I ain't gonna tell you goofies because y'all might then follow me to the train tracks. Y'all know how y'all be doing around here. All right, so good morning, sir. Stuffing. I'm trying to get out of saying the word sir. It's not really working too good for me, but it is what it is. It's so unique to me. I don't understand why people want to change people's uniqueness. But you know how it goes sometimes. Okay, moving on. What is the challenge? When we started COVID and we went on lockdown, many of us purchased or began to purchase stuff in bulk, as well as purchasing items that were perishable, non-perishable goods, right? But what is a non-perishable good? Because everything has an expiration date on it. So recently, I was cleaning out my parents' cabinets, and as I was looking at the food that they had in their cabinets, stuff I would never have eaten or whatever, but I noticed a lot of their items had expired already, significantly expired, and it made me start to look at the other items inside the cabinet that I was buying during the pandemic. And guess what? A lot of things have expired. So today's challenge, this Friday's financial challenge, is to go through. It's called a pantry challenge. Is to go through your pantry and organize your items by expiration date. So that's to touch every can, every tomato sauce, every ketchup bottle, and to look at its expiration date and to organize it accordingly, where the most current is in the front and the other ones in the back. So this is really spring cleaning, but for financial reasons. So that's going to be step 1 of the challenge, and I'll come back on Monday with step 2 of the challenge, because the goal is to save money. I thought about I should have probably come back tomorrow with the step 2 of the challenge. So I might come back tomorrow with the step 2 of the challenge. But the step 1 is to identify if you've got foods that are about to expire or when they're about to expire. And we'll then do step 2. So if you choose to accept this mission, know that you will be saving money, because it's good to know if the stuff you got in there is 1, eatable right now, or 2, is about to expire and you may need to start making some meals or planning some meals around it. So let's see. Okay, now on to the next thing. The next thing is kind of serious. here we are. So yesterday, shout out to Gleb. We was sitting around waiting for this sentencing of Jussie, Smollett. And boy, did we have was that a nail biter, lasted forever session. Goodness. So it's just one of them days. Just one of those things. All right. So we watched it finally after hours, because I had been watching this thing all day, and I was like, oh my God, they had hearing after hearing. See, this is what happens, and it's good to talk about this on Financial Fridays, when you are throwing good money after a bad idea. And this is what Jussie Smollett did. He threw good money after a bad idea. He used up resources, which is commodities, people, affluent people, to try to save his tail. And they actually put his best interests above their professional practices. So two things happened. We got the sentencing. He was sentenced to 150 days in jail. And the reason why, normally his crime does not get incarcerated. So I did go and confirm this. Well, his legal representation was horrible. But we'll come back to that. He got 150 days because the judge said it was aggravated. It was aggravated. The circumstances were aggravated by the fact. One of the facts that the judge used against him was that he testified on his own behalf. That is a fundamental right. You have a right as... So, I had to give this some thought, because John Frank came on the panel afterwards and was so adamant that we should be saying free Jussie. You will not hear Momo say that over here. But I started to look at it from the 360 approach that we do over here. So here's Mo's thoughts from a wide range of angles on the story. The judge used as one of the aggravating factors that he testified and perjured himself on the stand. And for that alone, he was in violation, according to the judge felt like you perjured yourself, you've taken no accountability. People were in the chat yesterday saying that he was a narcissist. The judge referred to it as narcissistic behavior. I think that is beyond the scope of what he could say without having a doctor diagnose him as having narcissistic behavior. It's far-reaching. It's the stuff we tell people not to do in our normal lives, that you can't just diagnose a person. But there are some behaviors that are strange for a black man, or for a man in black skin, because that's what Jussie Smollett represents to me. He represents a man in black skin who has lived the privileged life. What he did may or may not have risen to the level of criticism, court challenge, criminal case against him, had he not been a man in black skin, acting with this privileged sense of attitude that they felt so upset about. When at the end of the day, he's really a white man in black skin doing what white men do best, expecting the white man's way of justice. Well, I'm Mo Justice, and I'm here to tell you that did not work in his favor, because at the end of the day, he got what he got. And And that's the bias that he's talking about. Now, we all know that the alphabet soup letters around there, right, have perceptions on what hate crimes look like to them. And what I found laughable yesterday, and then I had to think about it hours later when I was reflecting on it. I found it laughable when he was sentenced, and then he has an outburst. I am not suicidal. But I have to think about that. He might as well, he's a piss poor actor. So I don't know what he was doing in the movie y'all was watching of him, Power, because I never watched it, so I don't know his acting ability. But boy, what I saw on the stand, just say what I saw in the situation he was in, because he wasn't on the stand, was terrible. Sir, you should have just screamed out, I am scared they gonna take my booty. Like, I'm just saying, because that's what I would have been saying. I would have been like, they're going to take my booty. So he was screaming out in fear. He reminds me of the boy who cried wolf, in the sense that, if you know the story of the boy who cried wolf, kept alleging ahead of time that something was going to happen, right? Something was going to happen. And he got all the people's attention. And then something did happen. And when something did happen, no one gave him any attention. And I started to think about that as I went to sleep, and I put my prayer on it. And my spirit started to feel passion for him. And I started to think about what could happen to him being incarcerated. Being a gay man, being incarcerated in a system like that, screaming out, I'm not suicidal. Having come from the Epstein, who, they allege or, hung himself in jail, talking about Sandra Bland, all those different spirits came into my play as I was thinking about this, and a sense of fear came over me. The same type of fear, I think, equivalent to the police officer who just recklessly shoots a black man in front of him because he says he was in fear for his life. I felt like maybe that man, if not a bad actor, feared for his life. But who should he be mad at? He should be mad at his legal representation, because those people first of all, he didn't get the most elite representation. I don't know if Glib's statement is true or false, but those are the opinions of that subscriber that I've highlighted. It's surreal to me, but it is when black folks live within the privilege and they think the privilege is applicable to them. And there was no denying that he felt like the privilege could be contributed to him, because he had his grandmammy get up there and speak on his behalf, and she definitely won people over with her stance and who she was and what she's been through and how she raised him. The problem is that Hollywood raised him better, and he went and got these Hollywood attorneys that was straight out of Law and Order or Law and Disorder. You understand? Like, looking at that portion of the trial yesterday, you could tell the judge was frustrated. The judge was frustrated over endless amount of appeals, endless amount of not appeals, but endless amount of motions to dismiss frivolous arguments made by the defense because they can. And it was everything yesterday reaped black unexcellence to me. You gotta find, please, Glib, send me that part. Or just point me in the direction of it. It just reaped, like they were the bottom of the barrel of what I would consider black excellence. Normally when I see black attorneys, I always think of Johnny Cochran. I always think of avid advocates for their client. And yesterday I just saw the worst, like I don't know if it was conspiracy theorists or what have you. But the last point I want to make about me fearing for Jay Smollett is two parts. One, if there is truth in what he testified to that everybody else finds a lie, it is deep rooted in the alphabet soup conspiracy. And that, what do I mean by that? I mean that they live in their own culture, and either you abide by the culture or you will get espoused. The same type of energy we feel from them when you are a heterosexual person and you don't want to engage in sex with people of the same sex as you, right? And you feel overwhelmed because right now having sex outside of your sex, outside of your makeup, right? So me being more attracted to men and only wanting to have relationships with men is today shunned upon as the abnorm, because the new norm has superseded my right to only want to have a heterosexual relationship. And it appears to be more targeted against, it's like, as I said, it's the new norm has superseded the old traditional. You understand? Where they have taken over and made you feel less than because you're not doing each other, if that's so to speak. If he's in a society like that and he did something that ousted him out of the society might tell a lie on him. Here's where another mistake Jussie Smollett's attorneys made, in my vantage point. Public trial. They argued yesterday that he did not have a public trial, yada, yada, yada. Heterosexual woman is the proper term. What the hell? Okay, so what's this? All right, you're gonna have to enlighten me, Boogie. What is this? Cisgendered heterosexual women? All right. Whatever, the regular stuff that we was doing from time, the stuff that we was doing before people could make babies inside tubes and do all kinds of stuff, whatever that is. I'm not anti anybody that doesn't agree with me. I'm not anti anybody's right to do whomever they want to do. That's your business. Get my likes up. I'll wait. But that's where we're at with this. So what I was thinking is he had a right to a public trial, and I have to go back and just explore this a little bit deeper, but the judge was explaining to him how he got a public trial, how they added extra seats so people can attend and blah, 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 blah. But the one thing Jussie Smollett gave up was he didn't want cameras in the courtroom. Had he had cameras in the courtroom, we would be able to see this testimony that the jury got to see. So all we got now is smoke and mirrors, as in this whole thing. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if his story wasn't made into a movie, because it's the worst. Even with the judges soliloquy at the end. This was the worst trial I ever seen, and all we saw was the sentencing. Front and center. You cannot, I looked, there's no video footage of the trial in its entirety because they waived their right to have a public trial with cameras in the courtroom. The defense didn't want it. He should have wanted it. Negro, you be on television all the time with cameras everywhere around you. And you got the nerve. You're acting every step of the way. You jumped up like a scene out of Macbeth or something. I am not suicidal. Right? So, sir, you could have used some cameras in the courthouse if you really wanted to sway people's opinion, sway the public opinion. Because now we got nothing to go on but what everyone says, or they gave their breakdown of what happened. You isolated yourself to we only have the narrative that mainstream media is putting out about you. Bad move. Horrible move. Poor legal advice. Poor legal advice. Why do you think we have these other trials where they let us go out? Okay, no problem. I gotta go too in a second. 4909 from yesterday's video. Let's see. I don't know how I missed that. I must have been on the phone yesterday. Because I had a lot of things going on. Let's see where we're at. Do. And I gotta go. I got to go, but I got to find this. Where's my subscribe? Darn it. All right. Sometimes I can't get used to this new phone. All right, that's the subscribers. Glib talk. Child who served as an all right, so we going to 49 minutes. You have a friend suggestion on Facebook. I have no friends on Facebook. Facebook, do not friend request me on Facebook. Because I'm nobody's friend on Facebook. All right, let's go here. Oh, God.
What does Joe accomplish? Mr. Webb is asking for incarceration for a low-level Class 4 felony. Well, Your Honor saw the submission from a medical affidavit. The jails are inundated with the pandemic. Illinois had one of the worst cases in the world. Sending Mr. Smollett to jail is almost like a death sentence. Yes, it is.
I done heard enough. I have heard enough. On that note, sometimes, like I said, you could throw money after bad stuff. This was bad stuff. He should have got a Jewish attorney. Like he should have got that. Yo, the one thing that we always say in the black community is, I got to get a Jewish attorney. This is a prime example of why you need people to sit down and really talk to you. There was yo, I'm just like, I can't even wrap my thoughts around this thing. Like, I can't. I can't. Hold on a minute. Let me log into this meeting. All right, I'm pretty good. Yo, that's just crazy. That was like that's just I'm speechless. I'm just speechless. Um that was his reason as to why he shouldn't go to jail. So you can just imagine all the other stuff that came out of these people's mouths as they was filing petitions. But he went to jail because the judge found the aggravating circumstances being that he took the stand, and that taking a stand as a defendant is a fundamental right, because they say you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court. And when he broke his silence and went up there on the stand, it was used against him. And I find it like it's like it became aggravating to the court because it said you lied. He said hour after hour you sat up there and lied. So it's like the longer you stayed up there, you just kept lying. And I'm saying to myself, there's a consequence for lying. There really is a consequence. But I don't know, because I'm not a therapist, if it's really that he was a narcissist, as everyone says. If he is, he's like the biggest textbook example of it ever. And that's shocking. That's really, it's disturbing to me. But my answer to that would be that he's biracial, and the narcissistic side of him comes from his privilege, or what he believes to be his privilege, because a black man in America knows better. I am absolutely sorry to say that, but I feel like black men in America absolutely know better. And there's no way I would have been unless there's some different facts that have not been presented. There's no way I would have put my professional credibility on the line for Jussie right now. And I don't know if he has made it impossible for other victims of hate crimes to come forward. I don't know what the impact is on that, but according to the judge, there is an impact on. He felt like one of the other aggravating factors is that because this man conducted himself in that way with this story, that he, as a result of it, real victims of such crimes will be reluctant to come forward because they will fear that the police will not take into consideration their arguments. And let's be clear, he ended up in trial because he refused to pay the salary. He refused to pay Chicago back for the police time and effort, because in their initial agreement he forfeited the $10,000. So let's just be clear how he got to trial in the first place. One of the aggravating situations for the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago was that they put out all this enormous man hours to cover this crime that was a hoax. And in that, when they released him the first time and he just forfeited his $10,000, and they felt like that was not enough because they had accrued $90,000 more in salary and expenses, and they wanted that back from him. And the attorneys at the time that represented him was like, no, that was a deal. Y'all keep the $10,000. So it was a level of arrogance there and a lack of accountability. And he refused to do it. He refused to concede. Last but not least, so this would they got there in the judgment. He got, what was it, 30 months. So if he got 30 months of supervision, it's minus the 5 months of time he got to serve. So he's got like 25 months of supervision. And the judge is allowing him to go to any state, do whatever he wants to do. He doesn't have to stay in the state. He could check in on video cam or what have you. So he took his special circumstances of he might be able to make some money. He can travel anywhere that he wants to go. There's no restrictions on his travel. And last but not least, this raises an issue about lying to the police. And to me, this sends a bad precedent to the Black community. And shout out to John Frank for this, because he reminded us yesterday about the snitching factor, and why little Kim went to jail, and she rocks because she didn't snitch on whatever she saw happen or didn't happen when she kept her mouth shut, right? Which is a form of lying to the police. No, it's not considered a felony, Ivalme, because it had months to it. 30 months. It was because it was there was 5 charges against him, so they're running like consecutive, not concurrent. But it's not a felony. These were all misdemeanor charge. Well, they said he's a felon, so they must have charged as a felon, but gave him as it's a class, whatever it is, as a felony charge. It is a very low felony where you get probation as the which is very interesting to me, because in New York, so I can only go by New York. In New York, a felony is a year and a day incarceration. And so I don't know how they consider it other places. I would think that would be across the board, but I don't cover criminal law. I'm definitely I'm not into criminal law, but that's the baseline that you learn about criminal law, is that a felony is normally anytime over 1 year. 1 year and a day is what you can be sentenced as a felony. Because it has to be more than 1 year to be a felony. So I don't know which one of his charges was a felony. But the overall, they each person starts off their testimony yesterday saying that this is a low level crime, which doesn't get more than that time incarcerated. But I have to go and make the money so the money don't make me. And I can't. Next week, I have to figure out how my life rolls if I'm going to drive into work, which I very much doubt I'm going to do. Not because of gas prices, because of quality of life. So I'm going to do a pause right here. Because of the quality of life, I will probably not drive into work. I want to relax going into the office, but that might get settled by tomorrow. You know, all it takes is one bad day going into the office on public transportation for Momo to pull out mama guns and hit the road with mama guns. So I have to really coordinate my schedule and see where it is and see where the channel falls in. But for the most part, we will stay a morning program. I do not want to be in the airwaves in the evening rush. The book agenda will be in the evening on starting Tuesday, because the book I want to read, it doesn't drop until the 15th, I think it is. So the first session, I'll send the link for the book club. I'll make the link on the community wall for the book club. You know, I do have new obligations, and I'm juggling something I never had to juggle before. It's like real personal life with YouTube life, with real business life. So I'm navigating some nuances, and I'm still spreading myself a little bit thin. I'm trying to meet everybody's needs, and nobody meeting mine. I'm just saying, just for the record, let the record reflect that. But I don't really feel. So that's about that. So the book club in the nighttime, I'm gonna try to figure out this time around how I can do the book club like on an automatic. So just in case I'm tired, cause 9 o'clock is a long stretch for me because of the thing. Did you get my email? If you're talking about the email that went to the civil justice, yeah, I saw that one. I responded, right? I said, I'm gonna look through the emails and see what you sent me and make sure that we're on the that I'm good with you, Yvonne. I'll look back through the emails. I don't know how I sent you that other one on the other, but I think because I was in the other app, I must have been using something that was connected to that email. So that's it. That's not for you mofos to be trying to send me no email on the civil justice channel, because I don't want to talk to y'all over there. Y'all not my friends. So do not even try to reach me over there, because I ain't talking to y'all. I'm talking to Evolve. Just saying. For those troll-minded individuals, and you know their whole thing. Oh, she's going to Sotheby's, and that's about it. I'm gonna do some. I will be here to read like we first started out. Oh, okay, that's good. All right, so we could go back. We could go back to that. Yeah, we could go back to that, because then I won't be doing the Audible. Okay, I'm good with that. I'm good with that, because you're the only person that is an active participant. Now let me deal with Miss G, because Miss G tried to out me on her channel the other day. Girl, this lady is cray. She's like, girl, I done bought some yarn and a to crochet or what have you. And she said, I don't know what to do with this stuff, and we did not start the session. So that is right. We did not start the section. All right, so I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do, Yvonne. I'm gonna put the link up for the book club to see if anybody else. Oh, people are getting around, aren't they? To see if anybody else bites on the I gotta watch John Frank, and he left the video up. To see if anybody else bites on the book club. If not, then we'll just do it as we originally did the book club. But I'll let you know. I'll send an email about that. But if no one else registers, then we'll just go from there. Boom. Miss G. So that might still bring us back to the night. I need to know your schedule in the night. So just text me your schedule, and we'll see what we could do. And in addition to giving me your schedule, what will work best for you, because I know you got kids, grandkids and stuff that you play with in the evening and help out and do real grandma things with. So just let me know like the best day to do it. And And then we have to decide what we're gonna knit. And I'm crochet. Ooh, this looks good. Beef stroganoff. Nah. See, the name of it was not tempting. Okay. Why you got all these cooking channels, Nicola? You not a cooking network. Stop trying to bring the people over here to this cesspool. I just can't believe this. Anyway, that's where I am. Let me go make the money. So Miss G, I just need what we gonna make, cause I gotta get us a nice little pattern for easy. You know what? Maybe just start off. See, I hate to say a scarf because we're almost exiting that scarf season. And I don't know what type of yarn you know what, Miss G, we need to have a conversation. Can we hook up later tonight? Like sometime in the evening? Just call me when you can. And let me see what kind of yarn you got too, because that's important. Because the thickness of the yarn dictates what we can and cannot make, or the softness of the yarn dictates what we can and cannot make. Because if you got a real soft yarn, then we might be able to do something really like cool. And then if you got a real hard yarn, we might want to do something like a pot holder. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just playing about the pot holder. Even though T wants to learn and she wants to make a pillowcase. And a pillowcase is relatively easy to make. Well, not a pillowcase. She wants to make a pillow because when she was little, I made all kinds of pillows for her. So she wants to have a pillow. She wants to make a pillow. So let's do that. Anyway, this broadcast was brought to you by the M and the O. Yo, what happened to y'all hitting my like button? Least thing you could do is like me early in the morning. Again, the broadcast is brought to you by the M and the O. Mo, mo, mo.